All right, we'll start off with questions for Alexis Morris first. If you have a question, raise your hand and we'll get a mic over to you. And please state your name and affiliation. Start off here in the front.
Lex, the third quarter you guys struggled, only shot 18.8% from the floor. Kind of what was not going y'all's way after having the first half that y'all had?
We didn't execute. They zone kind of shook us up for a little bit, but it was us. We didn't execute. We needed to execute and come together and, be coachable.
Any other questions for Alexis? Over to the right in second row.
Alexis, obviously it's always disappointing to lose, but can you put it in perspective for the whole season? It's still 28-2. You have a lot to look forward to. Where do you feel you guys are right now as a team?
We got some work to do. We got a lot of growing to do. Got a lot of young ones on our team. Experience, toughness. We got a week to prepare for playoffs, and that's pretty much all we're focused on right now. It's our next season.
Right here in the front, left side.
Gabrielle Lewis, the next. Speaking on that a lot of young players, you are a seasoned player yourself. What are you going to bring to this team just in this next week to help bring your younger players to, the run you're going to have later?
They probably won't like me for the next week. That's because I have the experience. I am proven, and I feel like I am one of the players who can make my team a better team as a whole. We needed more from certain players tonight and certain people, and we'll get it out of them this week coming up.
Back row.
Alexis, with you being one of the leaders, how quickly do you get the team to start to focus on the next tournament play?
Immediately, as soon as I walked in the locker room, some of my teammates were saying, I'm sorry. There's nothing to apologize for it. We lost. Now it's time to learn and move forward. It's no time to dwell. Playoffs is in a week. We can't sit here and worry about the SEC tournament. It's next play, especially for me. Like, I don't have time to dwell. I want to make a long run in the playoffs. Like I said, I want my senior night to be in Dallas. This wasn't my senior night, period.
Anything else? All right, thank you, Alexis. Free to go.
Thank you.
If you have a question for Coach Mulkey, please raise your hand and we'll get a microphone over to you. We'll start off here in the front row, left side.
So, like Alexis said,
can y'all identify where you're from? It would help me.
My name's Hunter Cruz. I'm with the Next.
So two of you with the Next?
Yes. So I was just wondering if there's any adjustments you'll look to make in terms of the zone defense, like Alexis said, you guys saw in the second half.
Well, it was very obvious they couldn't guard us in man. We just came out the gate smoking. So they go to a zone. It's not like we haven't seen zone this year. It was almost like we were just tired. No one flashed. No one moved. No one screened the zone. We had no dribble penetration to make two take you. We had no ball reversal. Nothing. We just relied on shot clock winding down, set a pick, jack a shot up. Was that fatigued? I don't know. But, we attack zones every day in practice. And it affected us. Their press did not affect us. Their zone affected us. And we'll continue as we prepare for the playoffs to attack zones.
Right here in the front row.
Chessa Boucher with NBC 33 in Baton Rouge. Coach Mulkey, you guys had a few mental breakdowns tonight, which was a lot like the game against Georgia at home in the fourth quarter. Where do you think that's coming from?
Well, the mental breakdowns, I don't know if I'd call them mental breakdowns. We did not do things on either end of the floor in executing. I don't know if that was fatigue. I was as disappointed in our defense as I was our inability to do what I wanted them to do against the zone. I just thought everything they did was in the paint. So I'm in a timeout going, do I go zone, make them shoot it outside? Give a different, and then I'm thinking, surely we're going to contest, they're going to miss, and then they would miss and they get their offensive board. So everything was just kind of toughness on the defensive end. And it starts with post play. I don't think anybody wanted any part of Rakia Jackson tonight. We'd hit a screen and holler switch. She's a great player. I just thought Horston is a great player. She got some paint points and then she'd get rebounds, but we knew that about those two kids. It was just toughness, and then we still had a shot to win it. Came out of the timeout, drew up the play for Alexis Morris, didn't set screens, just stood there. That's called no execution. So you just teach, you get back in the film room before the playoffs and go, explain to me from the time we left that huddle to the time we got on that floor what I wanted and why you didn't do it. That's teaching. So we'll do that.
Staying here in the front row.
Pete Yakabelli with the Associated Press. Kim, what did you see on that drive by Angel there at the end?
I thought we were shooting 2 free throws, so I was heading back to whatever to get my thoughts together, and then they said, Coach, she called an offensive foul. I just thought she was shooting 2 free throws.
Any further questions for Coach? Second row.
Scott Rapollet with the Baton Rouge Advocate. Kim, Angel was not on the Wooden Award watch list.
I think it has to do with
Can you explain?
you need to ask them, but I think it has to do with there are credentials or criteria that are involved other than on the floor stuff, maybe her GPA, stuff like that.
The natural question that your fans and readers would have is she in good academic standing for the tournament? Okay.
She's in good academic standing, period. It's just there's a criteria on some of these awards, like a lot of them will have community service stuff, some of them will have GPAs, some will have, yeah, she's academically fine.
Anything else? All right. Thank you,
Thank
Coach.
y'all.